Aha, bo'ldi.
Undan tashqari, oh, thank you for recording. Undan tashqari bu webinarda beriladigan ma'lumotlar nasib bo'lsa asta-sekin tarjima qilinib o'sha tilda ketadi. Inglizcha, o'zbekcha, ruscha bu yurtimizdagi o'qituvchilarga keng targ'ib qilishni mexanizmi. Shuning uchun bugun maksimalni qatnashishga harakat qilsalaringiz, nasib bo'lsa Xudo xolasa, maksimal odamlar qanchalik ko'p qiziqsa bu loyihaga, keyin bizlar uni hali o'zbekcha variantini, keyin ruscha variantini ham beramiz.
Tushunsanmi? Hurmatli ustozlar, kim registratsiyadan o'tmagan bo'lsa, iltimos chat boxga kirib registratsiyadan o'tinglar. Sobirjon, assalomu alaykum. Iltimos.
Assalomu alaykum. Yaxshimisiz?
Rahmat, yaxshi. Darrov registratsiyadan o'tinglar. Chat boxga kirasizlar. Chat boxda link tashlaganmiz. O'sha linkka kirib, familiyanglar pasportda, lotincha pasportda qanaqa yozilgan bo'lsa, shunaqa yozinglar. Chunki sertifikat berganda xato ketibdi, u bu deb aytmanglar. Hozir chat boxga kiringlar iltimos. Hali boshlaganimiz yo'q. Tak, Ro'xatoy is here. Aha.
Kimdadir texnik muammo bo'ladigan bo'lsa, aytinglar o'qituvchilar, uyalmanglar. Chatga kira olmayotgan bo'lsangiz, uni ayting.
Oybek,
keyin iltimos qilamiz sizlardan anaqa ismlaringizni to'liq yozsalar, familiyalaringizni mana Zoomda savol javob qilganlarimizda biz ko'rib tursak sizlarni.
Videoni yoqinglar iltimos. Biza ham endi
keyin oxirida, hozir video yoqishsa, Jamila opa, hozir anaqa svязь yomon bo'ladi. Oxirida.
Хорошо. Iltimos chatga kirib registratsiyadan o'tinglar. Chatga kirib linkimiz bor. Просто o'zingizlarning isminglarni chatga yozmanglar. Tepada link bor. O'sha linkni men hozir yana boshqatdan. Tak. Mana ko'ryapsizlarmi ustozlar? Forma chiqdi. Linkni ko'ryapsizlar ustozlar. Mana shu link orqali kiringlar. Familiyalarni просто tak yozmanglar chatga. Linkni ichiga kirib, linkda yozinglar. Salom chehra. Tak, Bekjonova Nargiza, iltimos linkka kirib familiyanglarni yozinglar. Gulhayo Po'latova, siz ham. Hamma yangi kirganlar iltimos chatga kirib, через link registratsiyadan o'tinglar, chunki biz sertifikatni shu registratsiyadan o'tganlarni hisob-kitob qilib kiramiz. 27 tasizlar. Hozir Javlon ko'rib bering, nechtasi registratsiyadan o'tishdi? Javlon.
Hozir ko'raman. 27 ta uchastnik ulandi.
Endi Ro'xatoy, Oybeklarni qo'shmang, Ferzumsayevni mani. Demak 20
hozir обновление bo'ldi.
Хорошо.
15 tasi registratsiyadan o'tdi.
Так, ustozlar 23 ta bo'lishinglar kerak. Iltimos.
Sen oyga qadar berasiz. Bekor yuborasizlar.
Abdaliyeva, Nilufar, bironta problema bor, Nilufar? Abdaliyeva.
Yo'q,
chat. Sobirjon, siz ham anaqaga kiring. Teparoqqa chiqsangiz, mana registration chiqyapti. Shuni yana boshqatdan Javlon yana tashlab bering pastroqqa. Biz ham sizni ko'rib turganimizdan xursandmiz. Yunusova Sochida oy. Tak. Yana.
Demonstratsiyani yoqib ko'rsatib beraymi? Registratsiya.
Давайте, qiling, shunaqa qiling ekranda. Давайте.
Hop. Forumga kiramiz. Поехали. Let's go. Ya'ni ism, familiya sразу to'ldiriladi. Вперед. И 93 kodi bilan 530 1997. Bo'ldi, faqat nomer. Bo'ldi, отправить.
И bo'ldi.
Mana shu holatda bo'ladi.
Yo'q, Ana yaxshi, rahmat.
Hozir bizlarga innovatsion vazirligidan yozishyapti, unaqaga kira olmayapti webinarga deb. Hozir innovatsion vazirligidan English the specialists who are learning English for science, they are asking us how to be in contact.
Will you send the last one which I sent you?
Yes, I will.
Link, yes. This works. This one works. Okay. My week. So there are 34 of us. Please, guys, will you go to chat box and go to that link and register, please? Because after registration, after all our conferences, you're gonna have your certificate according to your passport information, guys. Okay, so Javlon, how many? Qancha bo'ldi? Qancha registratsiyadan o'tdi? Registratsiya ustozlar sizlar uchun qancha?
Hozir fazla tekshiraman.
Ustozlar bu sizlar uchun kerak, chunki sizlarni pasport daniylar bo'yicha keyin sertifikatimda ism mundoq ketibdi, familiya mundoq ketibdi.
26 ta.
26 ta, tak 37 ta. 33 ta bo'lish kerak. Iltimos ustozlar. Keyin o'zingizdan xafa bo'linglar. Menga chiqmabdi sertifikat, men boruvdi demaysizlar, okay? So, men o'zimdan sabit qildim.
Konferensiya boshlatilgan bo'ladi o'zi. 2 minut o'tib ketadi.
Aha. Chunki biz kutyapmiz, mana 38 ta bo'lishdi. Camila, welcome, Camila. From the course.
Hello, Camila. Obyekt tayyormisiz?
Assalomu alaykum.
Okay.
Va alaykum salom. Bolam hozir 2 minut unaqa yana innovatsiya vazirligidan kirishmoqchi ekan, kirishdan hozir bir og'iz bilaylik-da, kira olmadik deb turishuvdi. Kanallarimizga marta tashlab yuboring-da, Jamila opa.
Kiromayapmiz.
Hamma kanalga boshqatdan tashlab chiqdik flyerni.
Tashlab chiqdilarizmi?
Va boshqatdan tashladik.
Okay, I think we can start. Jamila opa, siz agar kirganlarga anaqa qilaverasiz. We начнем.
Should I share the screen?
Yes, please. Assalomu alaykum, hurmatli o'qituvchilar. Men bugun o'zbekcha gapiraman. Bizlarda bugun ajoyib kun. Bizlar Amerika elchixonasi bilan birgalikda O'zbekiston ingliz tili o'qituvchilari uyushmasi birgalikda Amerika elchixonasining donorligida bizlar yangi bir loyihani boshladik. Bu loyihaga xalqaro ekspert taklif qildik. Basier Rodney degan, ular veb-sirda ham ishlaydilar, bizlar bilan ham ishlaydilar. Xuddi shunday veb-sirda ishlaydigan ikkita yana kollegamiz, Ustina a'zolari Rohatoy Boltayeva va Oybek bizlar bilan birgalikda bu loyihani boshida juda ham rosa qiziqib yozgan yana bitta avtorimiz bor. Bu Farhod Qodirov, sizlar ularni juda ham yaxshi bilasizlar. Bular hammamiz birgalikda komanda bo'lib yozildi loyiha, komanda bo'lib bizlar boshladik ishni. Bugun validatsiya deydi, o'sha mana bu tajriba sinov sifatida ikkinchi webinarimiz ketyapti. Ikkinchi webinarimizda yana hozir obyekt silka tashlasangiz, odamlar anaqada ham qatnashsa, hali qatnashmaganlar bo'lsa, so'rovnomada bizlar bir narsani so'rayapmiz. Masalan, o'sha har bitta o'qituvchining o'zini professional standarti bor. Bu standart xalqaro darajada tasdiqlangan. Shunga mos har bitta davlat o'zini o'qituvchilar uchun o'zini standartini qabul qilgan, kasbidan qat'iy nazar. Bugun sizlarga bizlar ikkinchi webinarimizni ko'rsatamiz. Bu ikkinchi webinarimizda ingliz tili o'qituvchilarining misolida xalqaro standart qanday ishlanishi mumkinligini asosiga taqdim etib boramiz. Demak, birinchisida bizlar USIda qanaqa qilib USIga a'zo bo'lib, xalqaro darajada ekspert bo'lishini tushuntirgan bo'lsak, ikkinchi webinarimizda professional standartdagi mezonlar haqida gapiramiz. Nasib bo'lsa, uchinchi webinarimizda Farhod Qodirov chiqadilar. U yerda mana shu mezonlarni, masalan, xalqaro ekspert darajasiga chiqish uchun biz bilan birgalikda qanaqa qilib ishlatish haqida shuni rubrikalar bilan gapiramiz. 4-chi webinarimizda Rohatay Boltayeva chiqadilar. Kreativ yondashuv bo'yicha, aynan professional standartda qanaqa qilib kreativ teacher training qilish bo'yicha o'zlarini taqdimotlarni qiladilar, men ularga yordamchiman. Va oxirgisida nasib bo'lsa, Xudo xolasa, xalqaro konferensiya qilib beramiz. Uni birinchi webinarimizda men bilan Rodney birga chiqqanmiz, doktor Rodney. Uni izlasalaringiz YouTube'da topa olasizlar, zapis ketgan. O'sha hozirgi webinarimiz onlayn ham ketyapti, to'g'rimi? Oybek? YouTube'da, Facebook'da, umuman hamma joyda onlayn ketyapti. Umuman olganda men komandamiz kengayib borayotganligidan juda ham xursandman. Har birlaringiz biz bilan birgalikda ishlab, xalqaro darajada ekspert bo'lib, O'zbekistonimizni, kerak bo'lsa O'rta Osiyoni, kerak bo'lsa butun dunyoni kengaytirishga yordam berasizlar degan umiddaman. Oybek Imomov mutaxassis, yosh tadqiqotchi. Yosh tadqiqotchi sifatida mana shu professional standartni O'zbekistonda qanday tatbiq qilish bo'yicha ilmiy ish olib boryaptilar. Savolnomani tashlaganlar, iltimos mumkin bo'lsa hammalaringiz yana savolnomadan ham bir o'tsalaringiz. Bilasizlarmi, bilmaysizlarmi? Bugungi kunda nechtasi javob berganini hozir Oybek aytib beradilar. Oybek, marhamat.
Good evening, dear colleagues. Glad to see you all here today. As you can see from my screen, I'm sharing the screen. Is it visible for everyone?
Yes.
Okay, great. So we are going to cover professional standard of the teachers and teachers' rights, as you can see. So today's agenda, as you can see, we'll try to state the key aspects of the Uzbekistan teacher standards, and we'll try to highlight the areas, I mean, the similarities and differences between Uzbekistan and other teaching professional standards, such as like UNESCO. This is the one that is like international standards. So before we move on, we would like to start with quotes from our president. Hold on one second, I will try to share that. All right, optimize the video. This is something that relates to all of us, so that's why this is very useful, and we should be proud of that, our jobs here. Okay, now let's try to begin.
Taqdirimiz muallimlarimizning qo'lida agar ochiqchasi aytsa. Hozirgi taraqqiyotimizda umuman respublika bo'yicha 10.130 ta maktabni isloh qilish, 6 milliondan ziyod o'quvchilar, 500 mingdan ortiq muallimlar, umuman jamiyatimizning barcha qatlamlari, har bir oilaning kelajagi bilan albatta chambarchas bog'liq, har bir oilani kelajagi bilan bog'liq. Mana shuni hammamiz bilishimiz kerak. Shu bois bizga sifatli ta'lim tizimi, zamon talablariga javob beradigan barcha shart-sharoitlarga ega maktablar, ularda malakali pedagog kadrlar, boshqaruvchilik va liderlik qobiliyatiga ega maktab direktorlari. Yana bir marta aytaman, boshqaruvchilik va liderlik, vatanparvarlik ruhi bilan taraqqiyot strategiyamizni bajarishga maktab direktori, maktab muallimi birinchi o'ringa chiqadi.
Thank you for watching. As you can see, our president stated that, you know, taqdirimiz muallimlar qo'lida. So we are all teachers, and we are really proud to be teachers. And that also brings us a lot of responsibilities for teachers, because our president is expecting a lot from our teachers, so that we can bring out our next generation, so that they are all knowledgeable and useful for the future of our country. And in order to do that, you know, in order to do our job well, we need to be aware of all teaching standards, and that's very important for us. Okay.
Hozir e'tibor bergan bo'lsalaringiz, Oybek yana bir marta e'tibor berdilar. Prezidentimiz aytgan gaplarni amalga oshirish uchun birinchidan bizlar hammamiz o'zimizni aniq standartlarimizni belgilab olishimiz kerak. Ayniqsa o'qituvchilarning standartini. Lekin o'qituvchilarning standarti bilan ish ketmasligini juda ham yaxshi bilasizlar. Nasib bo'lsa keyingi loyihalarda talabalarning standarti, rahbarlarning standarti haqida ham gaplashamiz. Bu keyingi loyihalarimiz bo'ladi. Mana shu loyihalarimizda bugun faqat o'qituvchilar standarti haqida gaplashamiz. Marhamat Oybek.
Thank you. Now I'd like to draw your attention to the results of our survey. I'm sure most of you already filled out our survey, and I really appreciate that. Thank you so much for your responses. Now, the thing is, like here, I want to draw your attention to the question number 3, which asks you, are you aware of teaching standards? As you can see, based on these results, 70.1.5 of participants are saying that they are aware, which makes us really happy because they already know their results and everything, which is very good. But when we move on to the next question, next slide,
I should explain here.
Oh yeah, that's right. Thank you.
Yeah. Bizlar aytdiki, tadqiqot olib boryapmiz deb, chunki har bitta qilinayotgan ishimizni to'g'ridan to'g'ri olib chiqmayapmiz. Statistika bilan, faktlar bilan olib chiqishga harakat qilyapmiz. Men aytdim, Oybek Imomov shu sohada yosh tadqiqotchilarimizdan. Ular tuzgan savollarning ichidan 3-savolga standartlarni bilasizmi deganiga 71,5% o'qituvchilar ha bilaman deb aytishgan. Bu 312 ta javobdan 71,5% bilaman deganidan keyin biz shunaqa xursand bo'ldik, o'qituvchilarimiz bilar ekan prof standartda deb. Marhamat.
Great, thank you. So, if we move on to the next page, it says here, as you can see, hold on 1 second. Oops, sorry, just going ahead of the time. So the next question number 6, it says, are you aware of summative and formative assessment? And here, the numbers do not match when it comes to this question number 6, because, you know, those 71.5% who said yes should also probably say yes to this one, because it is part of these teaching standards, knowing the summative and formative assessment. So that, you know, kind of brings us to the conclusion that we still need to work on the teaching standards.
Mana 6-savolda ko'rib turibsizlar, shu yerda summative degani oxirgi natija, formative degani joriy natija bo'lish kerak edi. Joriyda sizlar bilasizlar, o'qituvchilar o'zi ishlaydi. Oxirgi natijasi bo'lishi kerak. Mana shu prezidentimizni gaplariga qaytaman, shu yerda mana yaqinda o'zlari ham aytdilar, nima uchun bizlar shunaqa katta investitsiya qilyapmiz ta'lim tizimiga deb, lekin bolalar o'qishga kirish uchun repetitorlar orqali o'qishga kiryapti degan savol berdilar. Bu degani bizlarning tadqiqotimiz buni isbotlayapti. Nima uchun? Chunki joriy nazorat bilan oxirgi nazoratdagi mana katta farq, demak o'qituvchilar bilan hali standartni professional standart nima ekanligini tushuntirishimiz kerak. Demak, professional standart orasida qiladigan ishlarimiz ko'p ekan degan xulosaga kelyapmiz. Chunki ko'ryapsizlar farqini juda ham katta. Ha, bilaman degan odamlar soni 36% bo'lyapti. To есть boyaga 71,5 dan 50% pastga tushib ketyapmiz.
So thank you so much. So that means we need to work on it. So we need to develop. So that brings us a chance to even practice more so that we can develop our knowledge on the teaching standards. So now here's the question. So what are the teaching standards and why do teachers need to know the teaching standards? Can anyone try to answer, or you can write your responses in the chat?
O'qituvchilar uchun standart nima uchun kerak? Bu ta'lim standarti haqida gap ketmayapti. Sizni shaxsiy professional standartingiz haqida gap ketyapti. Va bu standart nima uchun kerak? Kimdir unaqa javob yozsangiz bo'ladi chatga. Javob yozishga naqmasdan, balki bironta javob chiqadi.
Is the final. Yes, that's good. So we have some responses already talking about formative and the summative assessment in the chat. Thank you for that.
Yes, Mashkura is saying that assessment, formative assessment is going process, summative assessment is the final result. Thank you, Mashkura, for this answer. And we hope that in our trainings, we will give more information about, and then we'll do the more trainings. And then you will get the real linkage between the standard, professional standard, and this assessment system. Nasib bo'lsa, Xudo xolasa, bizlar treninglarimiz davomida o'sha joriy nazorat bilan oxirgi nazorat o'rtasidagi aloqani haqida yana ham praktik treninglar qilishga harakat qilamiz. Ular sizlarga ko'proq tushuncha berishga harakat qiladi.
I guess we have more. Yes, we have Charoswan already responding to our.
School 55 also replied.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Without our
Exactly.
teaching standards.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I would like to give you, what do you think? What is the teaching standard and what is the professional standard? Do you know that the differences? Would you please respond as a chat, teachers? O'qituvchini standarti, mana o'qitish standarti bilan yoki fan standarti bilan o'qituvchining professional standarti o'rtasidagi farq buni bilsalaringiz yozib yuboringlar iltimos. Maktab darsliklarida butunlay yangilash kerak, teoriya emas, praktika bo'lishi kerak. IELTS skills bo'yicha kitoblarimizni yangilaylik va bemalol ishlaylik ular bilan. Buni Charozxon yozyaptilar. Charozxon, siz hozir IELTS tizimi bilan ishlashga hech kim sizga xalaqit bermayapti. Bemalol ishlashingiz mumkin. Xohlagan kitobingizni olib kirish mumkin endi.
Right. Okay, so let's move on to the next part. So as I'll try to move on to the next part. So the teaching standards are a set of professional standards for teachers, trainees that are expected to maintain when they gain qualified teacher status. What that means is like professional standards help teachers to be professional learners. So that means they can improve their knowledge on the subject matter, whatever they are teaching, whatever course, whatever subject they are teaching, so they can actually attend additional online courses, they can do other kind of teacher training courses so that they can develop. And also it gives the structure for starting teachers. So it's like
expected to be maintained when they gain qualified teacher status. Masalan, hozir sizga tekshiruvchi kelsa-da darsingizga, siz diplomli, malakali o'qituvchisiz ha desa, ha deysiz-ku, lekin yana bitta savol bersa ikkilanib qolasiz. To есть professional standartni bilgan o'qituvchi, ha men professional o'qituvchiman degan savolga javob bera oladigan darajadagi o'qituvchi. Shu ma'noda uni ahamiyati juda ham katta. Boshqacha qilib aytganda, har bitta o'qituvchi o'zini to'g'ridan-to'g'ri o'zining funksional vazifasini biladi degani. Chunki bironta mutaxassis kelib siz malakali o'qituvchimisiz, yo'qmi deya olmasligi mumkin. Shuning uchun bugungi kunda eslasalaringiz, yana prezidentimiz gaplariga aytaman. Diplomi bor, lekin ko'nikmasi yo'q yoki bilimi yo'q o'qituvchilarim ko'payib ketgan. Shuning uchun bu faqat qaysidir ta'lim tizimida emas, umuman hamma ta'lim tizimida shunaqa, oliy ta'limda ham bor bunaqa o'qituvchilar, o'rta maxsusda ham bor o'qituvchilar. Nima uchun? Chunki professional standart qonun sifatida kirib kelmadi hali. Lekin hozir endi prezident qarori bor. Mana shu qaror asosida biz eshitib boshlaganmiz. Nasib bo'lsa, asosiga sizlar odatdagidek ingliz tili o'qituvchilari birinchi o'qituvchilar bo'lasizlar, professional standart kiritadigan.
Okay, thank you.
Okay,
now, moving forward, they are responding. Okay, which is good.
It's a public.
That is good. Connect independent and reflect the complex role. That is true. Thank you for sharing that.
Tahmina is giving very good explanation here. Tahmina Ikramovna. Thank you, Tahmina.
And here is in the next page, as you can see, here are the core professional standards of the teachers that is created from the UST members, which says for the initial vocational schools, and the levels are from 3 to 5. As you can see, there are 4 components for these vocational school standards, starting with knowledge of core professional standards of the teachers, the first one. The next would be skills and abilities. That would be the complexity of professional activity. And of course, competences. That is the scope of authority, responsibility, and independence. And the last one is the appropriate level of skill ways to achieve. So, going further, as you can see, from 3 to 5, they have to gain all these skills and knowledge in order to become professional teachers here.
Okay.
Firuza?
Yes, coming back. Birinchi webinarimizga qaytib keladigan bo'lsak, birinchi webinarimizda bizlar Ustina nomidan yangi standartni tasdiqlatib, nasib bo'lsa buni validatsiya qildirtirib, ertaga malaka oshirish, sizlarga beriladigan sertifikat malaka oshirish tarzida o'tishi uchun bizlar hozir shunga harakat qilyapmiz. Chunki yana hozirgi chiqqan qarorlarga nisbatan va eng asosiysi ta'lim to'g'risidagi qonunda hayot davomida ta'lim konsepsiyasi asosida sizlar xohlagan joyda malaka oshirishga haqlaringiz bor. Shu jumladan UNESCO'ni professional standartini sizlarga taqdim qilyapti. Bizlar FL dedik, FL level, bu foundation level of the teachers. Bugungi kunda O'zbekistonda qabul qilingan kvalifikatsiya darajalaridan 3-5 darajasiga to'g'ri keladi deyapmiz. Nasib bo'lsa, Xudo xolasa, vaqtingiz bo'lganda buni yana yaxshilab o'qib olsalaringiz, chunki bugungi webinarimiz yozuvda ketyapti. Yana qayta kirib o'qiysizlar degan niyatdaman. Chunki darsimiz oxirida sizlarga surprizimiz bor. Marhamat.
Okay. Thank you so much. Okay, so now moving forward, now this is exactly what Dr. Firuza was talking about. That's the standards that is given from the UNESCO. Now, as you can see, if you take a look at this slide, it has 3 domains and 10 standards. But when it comes to standards, we would just refer to criteria, I guess that would be more appropriate. So as you can see, these 3 standards, starting with teaching knowledge and understanding, and second one would be teaching practice and teaching relations. So, and each of these 3 domains is divided into 3 or 4 standards. So starting with like the first one, teaching knowledge and understanding, that is like how students learn, the particular learning, social development needs of their students, and the content related methodologies, the subject matter and content being taught. And we have these research and analytical methods that apply in teaching. What that means is here is 3. Any teacher who's teaching, in the field of teaching should be aware of their learners, their learning capabilities, and their social background, and all this. And the other thing is teachers should be aware of the content, the knowledge of the subject they're teaching, and they have to have these proper methodologies that they can provide when teaching. And of course, research analytical method, that means teacher has to work on themselves continuously so that they can see the improvements in the subject they're teaching, so that they can provide updated knowledge to their learners. And of course, assessment, which is very important, which will focus more on the next slides, where we talked about it at the beginning of our presentation here about summative, formative assessment. There are other things that we will also discuss in the next, but here, moving on to the second teaching practice, that's going to be teachers practice constantly demonstrates. That is developing, planning, preparation to meet the learning objectives held for teachers. With that being said, as you know, every lesson we have our lesson plan, and we have goals and objectives. That means that we should, as a teacher, we should follow the goals and objectives set in that lesson plan, so that teachers would have a better outcome at the end of the class. And next would be appropriate range of teaching activities that reflect, align with both the nature of the subject. So we need to have different kind of activities related to the subject that we are teaching, which can strengthen the knowledge of the learners on the subject that's being taught. And the organization, facilitation of students' activities that will help students to have a safe learning environment, which would be very useful for students. And the number 7, that's going to be assessment and analysis of student learning that informs the further preparation for implementation of required teaching and learning activities. So assessment is very important part, as we said, that would help, Another thing that we need to be aware of, that would means teachers have to have this self-assessment as well here, so that they can see how they are progressing in their learning.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yes.
Let me finish up, then I will give you the turn so that you can finish up there. So teaching relations, that's also very important. That's the relations include active participation in cooperative and collaborative professional processes, that is the development, support learning and development, and communication with parents, caregivers, members of the community. This is very important, and we all, all teachers actually do that, because we as a teacher, parents are always involved. They always come and talk to teachers, asking how their kid doing, what's their progress, what they need to do in order to improve their performance. So it can be like formal, informal settings. And then continuous professional development. That means maintaining currents of the professional knowledge and practice. Like I said at the beginning, teachers have to continuously attend these professional development courses so that they can improve their knowledge in their subject. Dr. Fariza, please.
Thank you, Oybek. I would like to say a few words. Kechirasizmi, o'zbek tilida gapirishim kerak edi.
Yes, yes, you should.
Da. Qaranglar, hammalaringizga assalomu alaykum. Yana bir marta kechib kirganlardan biz xursandmiz. Bizlar UNESCOni namuna sifatida olib chiqyapmiz. UNESCOni professional standart. Agar sizlar internetga kirib UNESCO professional standards for the teachers deb yozsalaringiz chiqib keladi. Nasib bo'lsa, xudo xolasa, bu O'zbekistondagi professional standartga moslashtirilgan, o'zimizni pedagoglar uchun, barcha pedagoglar uchun USIni professional standartini olib chiqyapmiz. Bu standart asosida bizlar faqat ingliz tili o'qituvchilari emas, umuman barcha o'qituvchilarni shu standartga moslashtirmoqchimiz. 3 ta domain degani 3 ta yo'nalishda yoki 3 ta xarakterga ega bo'lgan bo'lim, 3 ta bo'limga ega bo'lgan anaqa bo'lingani o'zi, lekin 10 ta standart deyapti. 10 ta standart deganda ingliz tilidan agar o'zbek tiliga tarjima qiladigan bo'lsak, modda. Biz 10 ta moddani hammasini bilgan o'qituvchilar haqiqatan nasib bo'lsa USIdan xalqaro ekspert degan sertifikat olishadi. Lekin hozir boshlanishga EFL dedik, shu haqida tushunchaga ega bo'lib, mana biz olib borayotgan vebinarlarimiz yana xuddi shunga o'xshagan vebinarlar, aynan shunaqa emas, shunga o'xshagan vebinarlar boshqa o'qituvchilarga, o'qitadigan o'qituvchilarga nasib bo'lsa, bizlar o'sha EFL sertifikat, achievement sertifikatini beramiz deyapmiz. Men bu har bitta detal haqida qayta to'xtash niyatim yo'q, lekin 3 ta yo'nalishda asosiy narsalarga e'tibor beringlar. Birinchisi qarayapti. Praktika deyapti. Qanchalik o'sha o'qituvchilikda tajribaga ega yoki tajribaga ega emas. Ikkinchisi, o'qituvchilik jarayonida boshqalarni o'ziga jalb qila oladigan, tez mehr bera oladimi, bera olmaydimi degan ma'noda chiqyapti. Agar biz uni metaforasini ishlatadigan bo'lsak, bu oxirgisi har doim o'zini ustida ishlab boradigan o'qituvchi. Bu o'zini ustida ishlab bo'ldi, bu men o'zim zo'rman degani emas. O'zim zo'r bo'lib boshqalarni ham o'qita olaman degan o'qituvchi haqida gap ketyapti. 3-chi bo'limdagi gaplarimiz. Marhamat Oybek.
Okay. So that was like as you can see, a brief explanation of these core standards from the UNESCO. Now I'll try to go in a more detailed way so that you can have a better, yes, so that you will have a better and more explanation here. So as we can say, the first domain was teaching knowledge and understanding. That is actually practicing teachers know and understand what they know and how they understand. Like if we go into more details, that means like in the first one,
maybe we should give there some moments if the teachers would read it.
Yes, sure. And I will try to go over once again. So that is like implication of student physical, social, intellectual development. So that means all things that we have mentioned in the previous slide that is already combined here.
Yes, exactly. Mana hozir sizlarga har bir yo'nalish alohida tushuntirishga harakat qilyapmiz. Birinchisi aytyapti, o'qituvchining bilimi va tushunchasi. Agar tushunchasi bor bo'lsa, u o'ziga studentlarni jismonan, ijtimoiy va intellektual rivojlanishiga yordam bera oladi, deyapti. Demak, u o'qituvchi faqatgina talabalariga emas, o'zini ham va atrofidagi o'qituvchilarni, kollegalarni ham shunday rivojlantirib bora oladi. Bu o'qituvchi har doim o'zini eng kerakli bilimi va ko'nikmalarga ega bo'ladi va bu o'qituvchi albatta metodikani ham biladi, deyapti. Endi undan tashqari bu o'qituvchi bu metodlarni bilgandan keyin albatta tadqiqot ishlarini olib boradi va tahlil qiladi va yangi narsalarni o'rganishga harakat qiladi va albatta eng muhimi talabasini natijasiga olib chiqishga harakat qiladi. Marhamat Oybek.
Great, thank you so much. Like here, one important thing is like that is mentioned on the first part, implication of digital technologies on students learning. So that means nowadays every teacher should be able to apply technology while teaching. Since we are in the time like where most of the teaching is done online, so we need to be able to, educate our learners to use the educational platforms that are, formal educational platforms that would be quite useful for them.
Rahmat Oybek, alohida e'tibor berganingiz uchun. Mana ikkinchisida e'tibor bergan bo'lsalaringiz, o'quvchilarni texnologiyalardan, bugungi kunda texnologiyadan foydalanish mexanizmini obязательно kiriting deyapti. Raqamlashtirish tartibini kiriting deyapti. Bugun e'tibor bersangiz, bolalarimiz 2 yoshda, 3 yoshda o'sha texnologiyani bilishadi. Va bugungi kunda UNESCOning ideyalaridan bittasi greening skills deyapti. O'sha greening skills degani o'zi raqamlashtirish texnologiyasidan foydalanib har qanaqa og'ir mehnatlarni ham osonga yo'naltirish uchun bugun bolalarimizga o'sha raqamlashtirish texnologiyasini har doim ochiq berish kerak. O'z imkoniyat berish kerak. Bolalarimiz ham ko'rsatsin, o'zingiz ham o'rganib boring demoqchi. Rahmat.
Great, thank you. So now moving into the second domain, hold on one second. That is like teaching practice. So, we need to be able to, apply all the knowledge and skills into practice. So in our classroom, so starting like with identifying specific goals and objectives for the students, researching, organizing, scheduling lessons to meet those objectives. Like I said, we need to be able to follow the lesson plan goals and objectives so that we will be focused on the topic and students will have a better outcome at the end of the class when we try to check their knowledge on that. And next would be the activities that we do in the classroom should align with the materials, course materials, and that would help them to strengthen their knowledge on this given topic. And as we said already, safe and secure environment. It's very important for every learner. As long as you can provide this safe and secure environment in the classroom, students would be comfortable to learn and to absorb the knowledge that you are trying to share. And of course, at the end of the class, you should be able to give them a reliable assessment that will help them to, give them proper feedback on their progress. So please.
Bu yerda e'tibor berasizlar. Bizlar masalan hozir sizlarga metodikalarni kam berib ko'proq nazariyaga e'tibor berayotganimiz, lekin bu nazariya sizlarni borliklaringizni, sizlarga kuch beradigan, oyoqlaringizda qattiq turadigan nazariya. Masalan, hozir berilayotgan ikkinchi yo'nalishdagi teaching practice, o'qituvchini tajribasi. O'qitish tajribasi haqida gapirilyapti. O'qitish jarayonida nimalarga e'tibor berish kerak o'qituvchi? Eng birinchisi shu talaba nimani o'rganaman deb kelgan. Uni kutayotgan natijasidan o'zi qoniqdimi, qoniqmadimi? Uning uchun siz har doim dars jarayonida bu bolani o'rganayotgan narsalarni research qilishingiz kerak. Research qilish uchun savol javob qilish kerak bo'ladi. Mana hozir darslardan anaqa anketalarni to'ldiring, buni qiling degan ma'noda har safar o'quvchilardan mana shunaqa kichkina so'rovnoma bilan o'tkazib tursangiz, demak siz o'quvchilaringizga nima kerakligini bilib turasiz. U har doim baholashga kirmaydi. O'quvchilarga nima qiziq ekanligini bilishingiz uchun harakat qilayotgan bo'lasiz. Ikkinchi, sizni o'qituvchi sifatida obro'yingizni oshirib va sizni predmetingizga qiziqtiradigan narsalardan bittasi bu bolalarning qiziqishi bilan real hayot bilan bog'lanish. Biz har doim aytamiz, authentic material deb. Shu authentic bo'lishiga intilish. Keyingi narsalarimizdan bittasi bu o'quvchilarni o'ziga kerakli bo'lgan, masalan, har biriga individual yondashuv. Qanchalik individual yondasha olsangiz, masalan, ba'zi bolalar darsda o'zini tuta olmadi yoki o'zini kerakli siz bergan materialni ijaz qila olmadi, oxiriga yeta olmadi. Siz bilan qolib, mehr berib, yana ozginagina ishlasangiz, u ertasiga undan ham zo'r bo'lib tayyorlanib keladi. Va albatta har kungi darsni o'rganib, ertasiga darsga tayyor bo'lish uchun bu bolalar bilan ko'proq muloqotda bo'lish. Oybek?
Great, thank you so much for putting this up. Now, the last one, as we said, is teaching relations. That would be the, collaborative process with regard to lesson planning, teaching activity, and student welfare and the support. As you can see, these teaching standards are international standards. For example, some of the standards might not be, suitable for us, but, since we are just talking about international, so we need to go over all the details here. For example, student welfare and other things, we might not be having this one, but it is there and we should be aware of these standards. And the cooperative process that support teachers' professional learning and development. So we already have different kind of teacher development courses, programs, like even USTI here. Teachers can come, participate, and improve their knowledge in their, in their teaching sphere. So that's why it's important for teachers to be able to constantly improve their teaching skills. And we mentioned about communicating with parents so that students. Teachers and the parents are always working together so that they can improve the students learning outcome here. So that's why, and they should also work with different kind of issues that they come across with, and it's easier when parents and the teachers work together. And of course, participation in formal professional learning developments, which we already mentioned, ongoing analysis and reflection on practice to develop professional practice. Here, the important thing that we should mention is self-assessment. Even teachers needs to be able to have, other teachers giving feedback to them, attending different classes so that they can give valuable advice on each other in order to improve and to have better classroom. Dr. Firuza?
Thank you, Bek. Collaborative process. Masalan, teaching relations deganda bizlar har doim aytamizki, mana o'qituvchilarimiz Facebooklardan foydalanyapti hozir. Keyin Telegramda ota-onalar guruhlarini ochib olishgan va hokazo. Mana shunaqa guruhlardan foydalanish o'zini madaniyati bor. Bu o'qituvchi har bitta bola bilan munosabat qilganda, masalan, bizlar madaniyatimizga to'g'ri kelmaydi deyapti. Oybek mana hozir ba'zida o'quvchini holatini bilish yoki kam ta'minlanganmi, yaxshi ta'minlanganmi bilish o'qituvchiga qo'l keladi. Ba'zida sizlar bunaqa hikoyalarni, matallarni juda ko'p o'qigansizlar. Masalan, u kam ta'minlangan o'quvchi bilan qanaqa munosabat qilish kerak, sal o'zidan ketgan o'quvchilar bilan qanaqa munosabat qilish kerak, bizlarning qonimizda bor. Lekin xalqaro talablar doirasida bo'lganligi uchun, masalan, chet elda dars berayotgan bo'lishingiz mumkin. Bu standartlarga обязательно e'tibor berishingiz kerak. Keyin dars vaqtida обязательно cooperative process. Har bitta jarayonda hamma bilan birgalikda, hamjihatlikda ishlash jarayonining o'zi. Bu har bitta ko'rsatilayotgan indikatorlar bilan bizlar nasib bo'lsa sizlar bilan trening qilib boramiz. Har bittasini alohida o'rgatamiz. Buning uchun qo'rqish kerak emas. Voy, shuncha narsani bilishim kerak ekan deb. Prinsipal sizlar bu narsalarni bilasizlar. Masalan, ota-onalar bilan ishlashda bizlarda eslasalar, ota-onalarning uylarigacha borib kelardik o'qituvchilar. O'sha bolalar nima uchun kelmasa yoki boshqa o'rtoqlari bilan o'rtoq bo'lyapti, kim bilan o'rtoq bo'lyapti, nima uchun va hokazo hamma narsaga qiziqamiz. Lekin bu corporative bo'lganligi uchun, professional relationship bo'lganligi uchun juda ham madaniyatni yuqori tutish kerak bo'ladi. Bunga ham o'zlarda treninglarimiz bor, asosiga ko'rsatib boramiz. Va oxirgisi professional learning and development. To есть siz o'zingiz har doim o'sib borib, yangi o'rtoqlaringiz bilan, yangi kollegalaringiz bilan gaplashib borganingizdan keyin reflection qilishingiz oson bo'ladi. Bolalaringiz o'zlari ham reflection qilish, reflection degani o'zlari o'rgangan narsani sizga ko'rsatib borish va o'zingiz kollegalaringiz bilan birgalikda o'sib borishingizdagi reflectionlar nazarda tutilyapti.
Great, thank you for sharing that. Now, we mentioned about student assessment, right?
Oh, yes.
One of these assessments here, accepted assessments here in Uzbekistan, that's CFR, right? That's the language proficiency test for the English language. As you can see, the levels starting with basic, A1, A2 levels. Then we have B1, B2 independent. And the next one, C1 and C2, that's the proficient level. And, usually our students, take this kind of CFR test and then apply for universities. As you know, in order to apply for,
Can I
university.
jump in, Peter?
Yeah, please.
Oybek, mana biz sizlarga alohida tillar darajasini olib chiqdik. CFR O'zbekistonda tan olingan standart. Bu standart bilan o'zimizni professional standartimizni aralashtirish kerak emas, chunki bu standart o'quvchilar standarti. O'quvchilarni shu predmet bo'yicha beriladigan standart. Endi bu har xil tillarga to'g'ri kelishi uchun 0 deb tanlangan, lekin 0 sizlar bilasizlar, har qanaqa tilga align qilinadigan, to'g'ri keladigan til. Til darajalari. Endi shu yerda juda ko'p o'qituvchilar bilan men gaplashsam, juda ham ko'p o'qituvchilar aytadi, Firuz Musa, nima albatta C2 olaman, C1 olaman va hokazo deb aytishyapti, lekin ayniqsa qishloqlarda, masalan, repetitorlik nima deydi, o'qituvchilarning o'zini o'qitish mexanizmi juda ham past bo'lgan regionlarda o'qituvchilarimizga qaysidir ma'noda stressga tushib qolgan o'qituvchilarni ko'rdim men. IELTS topshira olmayapti, o'zi masalan boshlang'ich darajada dars beradi. Men unga IELTS so'ramasdim. Men ko'proq undan mashg'ulotlarni professional standartini so'ragan bo'lardim. Javlon, tovushlarni o'chirib qo'yishimiz kerak. Rahmat. Endi o'qituvchilarga aytadigan bo'lsak, this is the one element which you have to know. Bu siz bilishingiz kerak bo'lgan bittagina element. Bunda sizni predmetingiz bo'yicha, predmetni bilasizmi, bilmaysizmi degan ma'noda so'ralyapti. Lekin professional standart bunga aloqasi bor narsa. Demak, masalan, ximiya o'qituvchisi bo'ladigan bo'lsa, o'zining ximiyosini zo'r bilish kerak. Bir darajada bilish kerak. Agar maktab ta'limida borib dars o'tadigan o'qituvchi bo'ladigan bo'lsa, xuddi shunday IK darajada bo'lish kerak. FL darajasi uchun bizlar sertifikatimizni olish uchun IK yoki B1 darajada bo'lsa ham o'qituvchi sertifikat olishi mumkin. Lekin bu predmet bilimi. Bitta narsa bilan ikkinchi narsani aralashtirish kerak emas. Boya Oybek 3-savolda standartni bilasizmi, professional standartni bilasizmi deganda hammalar 80% o'qituvchi ha bilaman deganning sababi shu yerda edi. Bu standart bilish bilan, to есть predmet standartini bilish bilan professional standartni bilish boshqa narsalar. It's quite different things to know the professional standards and the subject standards. You have to understand it, please. Don't mix it. Thank you.
Great. Thank you so much. Now, moving on to the next slide. We talked a lot about teacher development, the teacher training courses. Now, we have these standards here that is for the, teachers starting with like teacher, senior teacher, and these levels starting 1, 2, 3, 4
This
levels.
is official levels.
Yes, please, Dr.
Official levels.
You would have.
This one is on the left side, it's the official levels. Mana chap tomonda sizlar hammalaringizda bor rasmiy, hozir bugungi kunda davlatimizda tasdiqlangan kategoriyalar. Bosh o'qituvchi, yetakchi o'qituvchi, katta o'qituvchi va o'qituvchi. UCC taklif qilayotgan loyihada bizlar sizlarni 3 yil o'tib keyin national expert international level degani, katta ta'lim eksperti degani, katta yuqori darajada bo'lish uchun 12 yil kutish kerak emas. Bu yil bizlar bilan faol ishlashni boshlasangiz, balkim 4 yilda erishasiz bu darajaga. Balkim kimdir mana standartlarni bilgan, ingliz tilisi yaxshi bo'lgan o'qituvchilarimiz tezroq erishadi. Demak, bu birinchi slaydda bergan, yana bir marta takrorlaydigan diagrammamiz UCCni darajalarini olish uchun bizlar sizlarga hozir mana shu xalqaro standartni, professional standartni tushuntiryapmiz. 4 ta dars o'tib beramiz. 4 ta darsni ham o'zi vazifa sifatida bajarib bera olgan o'qituvchi FL darajasi olgan sertifikatini oladi. Bularning eng yaxshi tomoni shundaki, siz Toshkentga bu yurishingiz shart emas. Onlayn darsingizni olib yuborasiz. Boshqa o'qituvchilarga o'qitayotgan bo'lishingiz kerak bo'ladi. Bizlar 4 ta modul darsini beryapmiz. Shu 4 ta modul darsi o'zingiz o'zbek tilida bo'lsa ham, rus tilida bo'lsa ham, ingliz tilida bo'lsa ham, qaysi til sizga qulay bo'lsa, xuddi shu tilda boshqa o'qituvchiga o'tkazganingiz haqida videoga olib, prezentatsiyalar tayyorlab, bizlarga jo'natsangiz, demak, bizlar sizga FL darajasini beramiz. DL, developing level teacher bo'lish uchun yoki rivojlanib kelayotgan mutaxassis bo'lishingiz uchun siz qaysidir yangi metodlar yaratishingiz kerak bo'ladi. Boya hozir Obek 10 ta standart deb aytgan yoki 10 ta modda deb ko'rsatgan bo'lsa, har bitta standartga yoki har bitta moddaga moslashtirilgan bitta video yaratib, uni rekord qilib jo'natadigan bo'lsangiz, siz o'sha rivojlanib kelayotgan o'qituvchi sifatida tan olinasiz. Bizlarni jamiyatimizda, kichkina communityimizda. Demak, bu mahalla deylik, Ustini mahallasida. Shu Ustini mahallasida hozir faqat ingliz tili o'qituvchilar emas, boshqa o'qituvchilarni ham biz jalb qilishga tayyormiz. Chunki qonun bo'yicha hamma o'qituvchilar ham ingliz tilini bilish kerak, ham o'zini predmetini bilish kerak. Xuddi shunday national expert level deyilgani, keyingisi national expert international level. International levelda biz sizlarni o'sha xalqaro loyihalarga olamiz, xalqaro loyihalar doirasida oylik to'laymiz. Rahmat Obek.
Great, thank you so much for sharing that knowledge. Now, if we move on to the next slide, sorry, just there's like a case study. There is a video.
Yes.
That's very interesting. We thought it would be fun to engage our participants in this case study where they would share their knowledge because we are all teachers here and we could act out and give our opinion on that situation that we are going to show. That's the, taken from the movie, the Ron Clark story. And you would see how the students misbehave in the classroom. And we've already shared these questions in our survey, and I'm sure you have taken this and you answered, for example, how you in line with learners' behavior and school behavior policy. That was the question 11. And question 13, do you develop learners' social, emotional, and behavioral skills? So we'll watch it and we'll try to share our ideas. Dr. Firuza?
Biz sizlarga hozir bitta case beramiz. Bu case'ni men o'zimning treninglarimda ham juda ko'p keltirganman. Ron Clark o'qituvchini o'zini case studies. Bu case studyni sizlar ertaga o'zlaringiz ham xohlagan bironta o'zlaringiz yoza olmasangiz, case qilib boshqa bironta kinolardan ham olishlaringiz mumkin. Xohlasangiz o'zbek kinolardan ham olinglar, farqi yo'q. Eng muhimi, bizlar o'tkazayotgan tadqiqotimizda 11 va 13 savollarga mana shu kinodagi keysga to'g'ri keladi. 13-savolda biz so'ragan edik. Qanaqa qilib siz maktabingizdagi ta'lim siyosatini o'zingizni ta'lim jarayonida ishlata olasiz yoki ishlata olmaysiz? Ikkinchisi, siz o'quvchilaringizni ijtimoiy hissiyotlari va xulq-atvori bilan ularni rivojlantirishga yordam berasizmi yo'qmi deganda. Marhamat, Oybek, keys ko'rsatamiz.
Sure, I'll try to play the video now. Sorry, just a second.
Yo, dream big about what? Big butts?
You dream about your mama.
Take your seats.
Yo, teacher. Shamika's feeling sick today. Yeah, sick of damn teachers. Hello, Shika.
Okay, because this is our first day, I have a surprise for all of you.
What?
I'll tell you, Julio, if you turn around. Today, there will be no schoolwork. Shamika, don't do that. Shamika, don't.
Well, what? What are you gonna do? Suspend me? Go ahead, suspend me. I wanna leave.
Sorry.
Teachers know about it, I think.
Yeah, they do. They are already sharing that.
Okay, because this is our first day, I have a surprise for all of you.
What?
I'll tell you, Julio, if you turn around. Today, there will be no schoolwork. Shamika, don't do that. Shamika, don't.
Well, what? What are you gonna do? Suspend me? Go ahead, suspend me. I wanna leave.
Hey, look, the fool's leaving already.
Sit down. You see this? This means that this year is going to be different. This year is going to be about more than school. This year, we are going to be a family.
But you don't look nothing like me.
I'm going to be your family, and you are going to be my family, and that means that I am not leaving, and you are not leaving.
Do you have any lip gloss? Yeah.
Great, thank you so much for watching that. Now,
Yeah, you can still see this film in Russian or in I don't know if it's in Uzbek, yes, but you can see it in Russian and English. Lekin judayam foydali kino ko'rsalaringiz bo'lsa qilasizlar, chunki haqiqatan professional standarti bor va professional standartga ega bo'lgan o'qituvchi. Ron Clark shunchalik mashhur o'qituvchi bo'lganki, keyin Ron Clark akademiyasini tuzgan, eng og'ir maktablarda ishlagan. Marhamat.
yes, that's right. Thank you for watching. Now, if you could share your ideas how you would just act or deal with this kind of students' behavior in the chat, also acceptable. You know, you can
They
share
are
your
writing
ideas.
that they like it. Thank you very much, Kuchkarva Dilaram.
Yes.
And Marshura. Thank you very much, Feruza. So will we go on and then we will give the floor for the questions and answers, please?
Yes, we have a home assignment for you guys.
Yeah, yes. Sizlarga anaqa aytdik, surpriz bor deb. Mana bu sizlarga surpriz. Uyga vazifa bermoqchimiz sizlarga. Kim haqiqatan uyga vazifani bajarib jo'natsa, bizlar hozir registratsiyadan o'tgan, familiyasini, ismini to'g'ri yozgan insonlarga QR kodlik sertifikat yuboramiz. So you would have the assignment later then.
Exactly. So in order to do this assignment, you need to pick a standard from 1 to 10, the ones that I have already explained, that we have already explained to you. And then you will try to create a 1-minute video applying this one of the standards that you learned from UNESCO. It could be, you know, students' misbehavior, or you are giving a feedback to your students. It could be formative, or you are teaching so that, you know, you're applying one of these standards. And then you will submit your video here. Yeah, please.
Oybek aytmoqchi bo'lgan uyga vazifalarida shunaqa. Demak, standartingiz laptop asizlar. Xohlasalar hozir mana bugungi video mana sizlarga link ham yuborildi. Yana keyin Usti chatda ham yuboramiz. Link ichidan shu videoni topish kerak bo'ladi. Bugun yozayotgan videomizni. Demak, shu 10 ta standartdan ichidan bittasini tanlab olasizlar. Xohlagan sizlarga yoqganini. O'sha standart emas, o'sha moddada endi. O'sha bitta moddani tanlagan moddalaringizga kichkinagina video yoki case topishlaringiz kerak.
I'm sorry, Dr. Firuza, they could,
yes.
Can I clarify that? They can show a video of their own classroom. It's like a 1-minute video where they could show that, and then they apply it and submit it here. It doesn't have to be like, they could go for
so we are gathering the cases, right?
Their own classroom, their own teaching. It's like 1 minute.
I mean that by this case, by this situation, we are gathering the cases for us. That would be great. Qaranglar, hozir bitta o'sha moddani topdilaringiz, masalan, ana ota-onalar bilan muloqot degan joyi bor edi, yo o'quvchilardan anaqa reflection olish degan joyi bor edi. O'shandan bittasini olib, o'shani o'zlaringiz klasslar shu muammoni o'zlaringiz klasslaringizga muammo sifatida anaqa qilasizlar, videoga olasizlar. Videoga olib bizlarga jo'natishlaringiz kerak bo'ladi. Qayerga jo'natasizlar? Mana hozir link beriladi.
Yeah. I will share the links with you guys. It's like a 1-minute video. It doesn't have to be too long, and the size limit of the video is 100 megabits. So please don't give us like a long video, because you know it's just one standard. You're applying it in your classroom. That's good enough for us. And I will be sharing that link for the home assignment in a moment. So let me stop sharing for a second. And then we'll see, and then we will move on to your questions part.
Videolaringiz ko'p emas, bor yo'g'i 1 minutlik bo'lishi kerak. Chunki bizlar uni download qilib o'qituvchilarga ko'rsatishga qiynalamiz. Lekin bu case'lar case sifatida ertaga hammamizga yana keyingi treninglarda ishlatish mumkin bo'ladi.
I'm about to
Thank
share
you.
now.
Somebody is saying that we are family here. Thank you very much.
Exactly.
Malakot Khan. Of course, we are the family.
And I've already shared the
Link.
link.
Bu
for
linkni
the
hozir
home.
javlani olib guruhga ham tashlanglar. Demak, bu guruh mana shu link orqali sizlar o'zlaringiz videolaringizni jo'natasizlar.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Questions
much
and
for all the
answers.
attentions. Yes, questions now.
Labay.
Clark videosini tashlab qo'ydim, ссылкасini agar chatga kerak bo'lsa.
Aha, rahmat. Hozir anaqa obyekt tashlagan linkni ham chatga tashlanglar iltimos. Keyin bugungi zapis ham chatga ketadi, to'g'rimi?
Da, to'g'ri.
Aha, marhamat o'qituvchilar, men bilaman savollaringiz juda ham ko'p, sizlarga qiyin ko'rinayotgan bo'lishi mumkin. Bemalol qaysi tilda sizlarga qulay bo'lsa, o'sha tilda so'rashlaringiz mumkin. Вы даже можете задавать на русском языке. You are welcome. As we are the family, we have to, the very much important thing that we have to be touchful to each other. We have to sense each other, feel each other. This is very important things. Bir-birimizni his qilib, bir-birimizni qo'llab yashash oila sifatida bu juda ham bizlarga ustidaglarga kuch beradi. Shuning uchun savollaringiz bo'lsa, biz xursand bo'lamiz. Marhamat. Ruxsat bering, anaqa javon anaqa nima deydi? Mute qiling, unmute qiling iltimos.
Da, o'zi ochiq bemalol.
Marhamat o'qituvchilar.
Assalomu alaykum, rahmat. Juda ham foydali hamda juda ham endi men uchun rosa ham yoqdi. Darslar ham, muomalalaring ham. Xudo xohlasa uyga vazifalarni bajarib, sertifikatlar olib, yuzlar yorib qilishga harakat qilamiz.
Rahmat qizim. Rahmat. Savolingiz bormi?
Iroda, kim gapirdi iltimos? Aha, so'zga chiqqanlar ismlaringlarni aytib qilsanglar yozilib qoladi.
I was born in 1982 and I live in a small village, Yangabod in Namangan.
Bangladesh, Yangabodga qizimiz.
Thanks for your help and thanks for your response.
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. As we said, that we are the family. Yes, please. Yana savollar bormi qizlarim, yigitlar?
Yeah. Miss Jamila.
Yes.
Yes. Because of the internet connection, I joined a bit later. That's why. Can you share the full video of this recorded version of this session of this webinar?
It's going online. Now you can see it on the Facebook, on YouTube, and everywhere, all the social media. And plus, you will see it on our chat.
In YouTube.
It's not going online. It's just being recorded now. Yeah, because it will say live on Facebook or live on YouTube. It's not online.
Okay.
Sorry.
But
okay.
We can,
thank you, Rokhatoy.
You may
please meet Rokhatoy as well. Rokhatoy is a part of our team, a national expert. You see, we have the developing national level experts already.
Thank you very much.
So you may watch, just a minute, you may watch this webinar on YouTube in 2 days, guys.
Of course, everything goes under the leadership of our Jamila Pa.
And we are going to share OIBX's presentation as well.
Yes, of course.
In Usti and Usti chat, guys, because it's impossible to send all the video to all the presentations to my about 200 groups, guys. That's why go to Usti and Usti chat. Just
Jamila apa ovoz ochish kerak. Jamila apa ovozingiz kelmayapti.
Switch on your.
Why?
Okay.
Okay. So you may watch this webinar on YouTube, and then you may watch. I'll send IBX presentation to USTI and USTI chat only. That's why please join USTI and USTI chat. We have 2 Telegram groups, guys. Thank you.
Okay.
Marhamat, yana savollar bormi?
Haligi, assalomu alaykum.
Va alaykum salom Salmaxon.
Haligi yaqinda men Facebookga joylab yurgan metodikalar bor edi. Shunga o'xshagan qilib video olamanda, demak, tushunishim bo'yicha.
Bo'ladi. Faqat boyagi mana standartdagi ko'rsatilgan bironta moddaga to'g'ri tushish kerak. Bironta moddaga. То есть bironta moddani tanlab olasiz, UNESCO standartidagi falonchi modda deysizda qo'yasiz. Sababi nima? Chunki o'zbek tilida, rus tilida, ingliz tilida beraverishimizning sababi O'rta Osiyodagi oxirgi avvalgi postsovet davlatlarining ko'pchiligida professional standart degan narsani biz esimizdan chiqardik. 97-yilda birinchi marta qabul qilingan professional standart. 97-yilda birinchi marta o'qituvchilar konvensiyasi qabul qilingan. O'sha o'qituvchilarning huquqlarini himoya qilib, o'qituvchilarga mana $1000 beraman deyaptilar prezidentimiz. $1000 oladigan o'qituvchi birinchi professional standartga rioya etishi kerak bo'ladi. Nasib bo'lsa Xudo xolasi.
Farhod, have you anything to add, please?
Is Farhod here?
Yes.
Yeah. Hello, everyone.
Hi, Farhod.
Yeah, hello. How are you? It was very informative. Beautiful presentation, Oybek. Yes. Yeah, great.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Any questions of the teachers, please?
Yeah. Once again, I would like you to remind them that they have to pick up one of those 10 standards, and they have to do according to the standard, because if they don't pick up the standard, then later on we can't evaluate it.
Yes, we have mentioned, and then now we have to say again in Uzbek maybe. Agar shu ko'rsatilgan 10 ta standartlardan bironta moddasini ololmasalaringiz, biz sizlarga baho bera olmay qolamiz. Shuning uchun iltimos, albatta
they have to mention, I'm sorry, Dr. Firuza, they have to mention that what standard they are following, because they may take one standard but not do according to that standard.
Yes.
So they have to mention, we have to be sure. Yeah, we have to be sure what standard they are following, and we have to be sure that they can apply the standard.
Thank you very much for reminding it. This is also very important. When we are clearly explaining the task, and then task would be done very well. Therefore, we will repeat it again in Uzbek. Tanlagan 10 ta standartlardan bittasini qaysi birini tanlagan bo'lsangiz, o'sha standartda alohida ko'rsatib, mana bu standart endi bizlarda ingliz tilida standart deyiladi, o'zbek tilida modda. Demak, 10 ta ko'rsatilgan moddadan bittasini tanlaysiz. Mana shu standartga mos klassingizdagi bo'lgan holatni 1 minutlik videosini olasiz, keyin linkka qo'yib yuborishingiz kerak.
Qo'rqmanglar, bemalol, naqasizlar, kreativsizlar juda ham. Qo'rqmasdan jo'nataveringlar. Hech qisi yo'q. Biza
keyin men sizlarga yordam sifatida aytish mumkin. O'quvchilaringiz o'zlari bilan birgalikda qarab chiqib, keyin o'quvchilardan yordam so'rasangiz, ular ham tez yordam beradi sizlarga. Bitta o'zingiz emas, birgalikda qilasizlar. Keyin o'quvchilaringiz sizlarni anaqa как раз cooperation degan temaga juda mos keladi.
Firuza, PDF variantini ham tashlay olasizlarmi USTI guruhiga?
Albatta tashlaymiz.
Nima yangi narsa bo'lsa, mana rasmlarni ham tashlaymiz.
Mana hozir mana innovatsiya vazirligidan ham odamlar qo'shilibdi. Rahmat katta. Nasib bo'lsa innovatsiya vazirligida yana qaytadan prezentatsiya qilib berishga tayyormiz.
Yana bitta narsa.
Yes, please. Question. Yes, please.
Should we send the video until 10th December?
No. This is a very good question, Sabarjanake. You are asking about deadlines. The last conference would be on the 5th of February, where we would invite stakeholders, donor organization like the U.S. Embassy, the Ministry of Preschool Education, who is going to be partner on this, and then other international future donor organizations who can support this teacher training for us, for the teachers. Therefore, that would be great if you will submit your video by the end of the next webinar. Next webinar would be next Friday. Which date it would be?
So it's until the 10th.
10th of February,
February.
right?
Yeah. Yep.
Yes. Bir hafta 10 fevralgacha Sobirjon aka. Zo'r bo'lardi agar 10 fevralgacha.
Darslar ham 7-dan boshlanyapti, tak что sinfxonalarida bemalol anaqa qilish mumkin.
Men juda ham iltimos qilardim o'quvchilar birga qilishlaringizni. Masalan, bitta narsa aytaman. Misol sifatida sizlarga bizlar bu yil shuni izladik, topolmadik. Facebookda juda ham ko'p ketdi shu narsa. 1-sentyabrda bolalarimiz maktabga kelganda 1-klasslar rosa chiroyli bo'lib kelgan, bantikchalarni toqib, juda ham chiroyli bo'lib kelishganda nima qilgan maktabga. Lekin 1-klass bo'lganligi uchun bu maktabda bolalar o'tirishini bilish kerakligini bilishmagan. Keyin bittasi qattiq bezovta bo'lavergan, o'qituvchisi baqirgan unga jim o'tir deb. Keyin unga baqirgandan keyin bola qo'rqganda yig'lab yuborgan. Keyin ikkinchi bolacha kelib uni tinchitaman deb yig'lama deyapti-da, jim qila olmay u ham yig'layapti. Asosiy effekt bir-biriga ketyapti-da, butun klass yig'layapti. O'qituvchilar tinchitaman deb 4 ta o'qituvchi tinchita olmayapti. Bu o'qituvchilarda o'sha professional standartga yetishmasligi, mana shunaqa keyslar bo'lganda qanday qilib hal qilishga o'rgatilmaganligidan dalolat. Lekin biz o'sha keysni topa olmadik. Endi hozir sizlardan iltimos qilyapmiz, shunaqa keyslarni ko'rsatib, o'sha keysni olib jo'natasiz. Keyin bizlar sizga keysni qanday qilib yechish kerakligini ko'rsatamiz. Hozir sizlar yechishini ko'rsatmaysizlar. Bitta ish qilasizlar. Demak, o'sha 10 ta sizlardan talab qiladigan moddadan o'rganib chiqasizlar. Bittasini tanlaysizlar. Shunga mos videoni 1 minutlik videoni tashlab berasizlar. Rahmat.
Tak, Firuza Musayevna, shu konferensiyaga bog'liq menga juda ko'p murojaat qilishyapti. Mana jurnalga maqolalarni yozish bo'yicha. Firuza Musayevna, juda iltimos qilishyapti, bitta alohida orada juma bilan dushanbani orasida webinar. Bu bir. Keyin bizani Fulbrightlarimiz bor. Fulbrightda ishtirok etgan. Bu yanvar oyini boshidagi 2-3 ta bizani Fulbrightlarimiz shaya qilishuvdi. Hozir USMBC Fulbright programmasini e'lon qildi. Shunga yana iltimos qilishyapti. Shu Fulbrightlar bizga yana prezentatsiya qilib berishsin. Qanaqa qilib ishtirok etish haqida. Demak, meni очереди webinar qilib bersak degandek o'qituvchilarga. Nima deysizlar? Mana. Ko'p menga murojaat.
Shaxsan yo'q, Jamila opa, siz koordinator sifatida, o'zingizda aynan shu menejer sifatida o'zingiz agar tashkil qilib, bolalar bilan o'tkazaman desangiz, marhamat, Zoom platformasi bemalol fevral oyida bizlar Zoom platformasini sotib oldik. Qancha xohlasangiz shuncha har kuni o'tkazing. Har bitta Fulbright bilan alohida o'tkazinglar. Ikkinchisi, bizlarda onlayn ilmiy platforma ochildi o'zingizda. O'zini partnyor hamkori bor, mahorat management, shu ta'limda qanaqa konsultatsiya kerak bo'lsa, qanaqa ekspert kerak bo'lsa, o'shalarni olib keladi. Mana hozir Oybek, Rohatoy, men, Jamila opam, bular o'sha mahoratdagi ekspertlardan bittasi. Bizlar ular bilan xalqaro loyihalar qilyapmiz. Endi men aytmoqchi bo'lganim, Fulbrightdagi bizani o'zimizdan chiqqan lider o'qituvchilarimizni biz juda ham hurmat qilamiz. Ularning har bitta prezentatsiyasi biz uchun juda ham qimmatli. Va har kuni qilaman desangiz, mana fevral oyida bemalol har kuni webinar qilish mumkin, Jamila opa. Shuning uchun bu bemalol qilish mumkin. Tim более zapis ketadi, tim более onlayn qilamiz. Hech qanaqa problemasi yo'q. Bittagina iltimos bo'ladi, o'sha RALED.uz. Men hozir chatga ham yozaman, Jamila opa, balkim siz ham yozib yuborarsiz. RALED.uz emas, RALED.org xalqaro platforma, onlayn platformada maqola qanaqa qilib yozish, qanaqa qilib apply qilish, hammasi ko'rsatilgan. Bemalol maqolalarni jo'natish mumkin, hech qanaqa problemasi yo'q. Darrov tahrir qiladigan komanda bor. Tahrirchilar hammasi xalqaro darajadagi ekspertlar. Taqadan o'tsa bo'ldi, chiqadi maqolangiz. Shuning uchun o'qituvchilarga juda ham yaxshi imkoniyat, yosh tadqiqotchilarga ham yaxshi imkoniyat. Bemalol murojaat qilishlaringiz mumkin.
Rahmat Firuza.
Undan tashqari yana qanaqadir takliflar bo'lsa, marhamat. Lekin bizning fokusimizda bugun davlatimizda ham bu fokus hozir professional standart. Endi professional standart asosida nima qilinadi? Professional standart asosida sizlarga dars tayyorlashni o'rgatgandan keyin kvalifikatsion ramkalar beriladi. Bu kvalifikatsion ramkalar nasib bo'lsa xalqaro darajada tan olinadigan kvalifikatsiya bo'lib, siz xohlagan maktabingizga borsangiz, bu kvalifikatsiya biz bilan, maktab deganda I mean the school, any kind of educational sector, you can be recognized. bu tan olinadigan kvalifikatsiyalar bo'ladi, chunki uni validatsiyadan o'tkazish mexanizmini mahorat management tashkiloti bilan birgalikda UIST birga ishlayapti. To есть validatsiyadan o'tkazish deganda nima demoqchi bizlar? Ta'lim vazirliklari tan oladi, plus mehnat vazirligi tan oladi degan mexanizm. Savollar bo'lmasa, bizlar sizlarga yana savollar yana uyg'onib qolsa, chatga yozsalaringiz biz yana bu chatga emas, UISTni chatiga yozadigan bo'lsalar savollarga javob beramiz. Undan tashqari bizni hamkorimiz mahorat management o'zini YouTube'larida, chatlarda, social mediada berib boryapti bizning videolarimizni. Bundan tashqari men yana bir marta aytmoqchi edim, O'zbekiston ingliz tili o'qituvchilari uyushmasi O'zbekistondagi eng katta NNOlardan, nodavlat notijorat tashkilotlardan bittasi bo'lib, bu ingliz tilidagi o'qituvchilar uyushmasi bo'lgan edi, har doim shunaqa bo'lib kelyapti. Endi bugungi kunda hamma o'qituvchilar ingliz tilini bilishi shart bo'lganligi uchun bizlar nomimizni o'qituvchilar uyushmasi deb aytyapmiz. Shuning uchun boshlang'ich o'qituvchimi, 3-4 kursda o'qib yurgan o'qituvchimi, endi o'qituvchi bo'lmoqchimi yoki juda ham katta tajribaga ega bo'lgan o'qituvchimi, hammasi oilamizga marhamat, bemalol bag'rimiz keng. Yana bitta asosiy narsani aytmadim. Bu shu loyihadan kutilayotgan online MOOC loyihasi, platformasi, Massive Online Open Courses. Bizlar hozir yozilayotgan darslarimiz hammasini bizlar sizlarga bersak, sizlar ham o'zlaringiz darslaringizni asosiy yozib bizlarga jo'nata boshlasangiz, kurs eraga o'xshagan O'zbekistondagi onlayn kurslar paydo bo'ladi. Rahmat.
Agar just a minute. Rohatoy sizga murojaat qilishibdi. Siz ham juda ko'p scholarshipslarni yutgansiz. O'shaning uchun siz ham qilib berishda yordam berasizmi deb aytishyapti.
Manga asosan qisqa muddatli scholarshiplar bor. Masalan, konferensiyalarga qatnashish scholarship, travel grantlarni yutganman. 3 oylik ITech programmasi bo'yicha Indiyaga borganman, MTCP programmasi bo'yicha Malayziyaga borganman va Chivning programmasi bo'yicha 1 yillik magistraturaga borganman. Qaysi birini? Ularning har bitta webinar bo'ladi.
Xuddi shunday bitta nasib bo'lsa, bittadan webinar ko'rsatamiz. Bular har bittasi alohida loyiha bo'ladi.
Xudo xolasa. Endi biza hozir bitta narsa bu komanda Chivningga ko'proq qiziqishyapti, chunki 1 yillikda shungadir. Lekin mana qaranglar, Rohatoy gapi bo'yicha kichkina ozginadan boshlab katta anaqada ishtirok etdilar. Yana bitta narsa, biza hozir bu komanda ko'proq 25 fevralgacha band bo'lishadi, lekin ustozlar, men albatta mana qarshilik qizimiz bor edi, Nargiza Xonaliyeva, Lola Uzakova bor Namangandan, yana Yelenalar bor, keyin Abdunazarova Gavhar, mana Kamila qizimiz bor.
Juda ham ko'p. Hozir anaqa bizlarda Urazboyev degan bor, Hikmat Sirdaryolik. Yaqinda doktor nauk bo'ldi shu bolamiz. Juda ham ko'p anaqa. Stoiz komandamiz juda ham keng. Jamila opa, ulardan hammasini har bitta viloyatdan ikkitasidan olib chiqsangiz 25 gacha qancha zapis qilasiz.
Ferzum Sayın, yana bitta narsa. Ustozlar, mana biza bugun 92 ta eng ko'p pik bo'lgani 92 ta ishtirokchi qatnashdi. Borgan sari
tabriklayman.
Lekin bitta narsa, Ferzum, men endi bunga mas'ulligim uchun ustida shuni har webinarda eslatib o'taman. Ustozlar, hamma qilgan ishimiz sizlar uchun. Lekin sizlar ham ustini ozgina qo'llab-quvvatlaysizlar degan umiddamiz. Esinglarda bo'lsa, membership man jo'natyapman. Online bu, keyin bank rekvizitlari berilgan, 1 yilga 120 ming to'lanadi-da. Mana shunaqa webinarlar. Webinarlar oldingidek 40 minutda kirdi chiqdi emas. Qaranglar, biz bunga pul to'laymiz, qaysidan sizlarni shu membershiplarni. Va men juda bunga qarab qo'ygan joyimiz yo'q, lekin biz bilishimiz kerak, shu orqamizda komanda turibdi, oila turibdi. Shuning uchun qo'llab-quvvatlaylar degan umiddamiz. Yana bitta narsa.
Bravo, Jamila opa, oila deganingiz uchun.
Yana bitta narsa, biz e'lon qilyapmiz. UIST organizes webinars for its members deymizda, lekin hammanglarni mana qabul qilaveryapmiz. Bu bizning qoidamiz. Lekin biz bag'ri keng bo'lganimiz sababli sizlar ham bizani qo'llab-quvvatlaysizlar degan umiddamiz. Chunki qani
your
O'zbekiston
contribution.
qancha a'zosi bor desa, mana shuncha. Mana 2 oy ichida biz salkam 50 tadan oshiq a'zolar qo'shildi.
Congratulations, Jamila opa.
Feruzoya, assalom. Feruzoya, bitta savol bor.
Aha, eshitaman Sobichi.
Mana shu Ustini tashkil qilgan Risqulov, Abbos Risqulov degan domla bor edilar.
To'g'ri, hali ham borlar, xudoga
Ular
shukr.
tashkil qilmaganlar lekin.
Bizni o'qituvchi,
Bor.
bizni o'qituvchimizda.
Borlar.
Savol nima edi Sobirjon aka?
Bunda yo'q, savol yo'q.
Ustini tashkil qilgan odamlar bir guruh ingliz tili o'qituvchilari bo'lishgan. Bundan oldin Abbos akam Risqulov shu Ustini rahbari bo'lganlar. Undan keyin mana 2 yil Farhodjon boshliq bo'ldilar. To есть mana hozir Usti xalqniki. Bu birovniki emas, xalqniki. Nasib bo'lsa, Xudo xolasa sizlar ham xuddi shunaqa rahbar bo'lishlaringiz mumkin. Bizlar buni egallab olgan joyimiz yo'q. Eng muhimi xalqga xizmat qilsalaringiz bo'ldi.
Nima uchun odamni so'ragan?
Rahmat, salomingizni yetkazib qo'yaman. Men salomingizni yetkazib qo'yaman Tursunchika. Rahmat. Abbos Tursunch hozir yana bitta loyihada biz bilan birgalar shu milliy kvalifikatsiya ramkani kiritish jarayonida. Juda ham qo'llayaptilar, juda ham xohlayaptilar shu loyiha biznesning ustidan chiqishini. Shuning uchun Jamila opam hozir aytgan ustiga a'zolik degan ma'noda bu yerda eng katta nimasi bor? Ertaga bizlar Minvuzga borsak, Mintrudga borsak yoki boshqa masalan huquqlaringizni himoya qilamiz desak, xuddi shu savol berishadi. Nechta a'zoyingiz bor o'zi deydi. 50 ta 60 ta desak uyat bo'ladi.
Kimni himoya qilasiz deydilar keyin. Kimni himoya qilasiz?
Bizlar har doim bizlarda 10 mingdan ortiq a'zolarimiz bor deymizda, lekin Minvuz uni tasdiqlashi kerak. Minvuz tasdiqlamasa uyalib qolamiz. Shuning uchun xursand bo'lamiz agar sizlar bu tashkilot bizani o'stiradigan tashkilot ekan deb ozginagina hissalaringiz qo'shsalaringiz.
Ferzumsal yana bitta narsa. 25-da bo'ladigan oxirgi konferensiyamizgacha men o'ylaymanki, Ustinimiz oilasi juda ham katta keng bo'ladi va biz chiroyli qilib oxirgi vebinarimizni xalqaro miqyosda jamlaymiz.
Demak, xalqaro miqyosda bo'ladigan konferensiyaga hammalaringiz mana keyingi har juma kuniga bo'ladigan konferensiyaga qatnashib turinglar. Keyin Ustini chatiga kirsalaringiz, u bepul, bemalol nimalar bo'layotganligini tanishib borasizlar. Nasib bo'lsa, Xudo xolasa 25 fevralda juda ham ko'p donorlarni taklif qilyapmiz. Bizlar bu UNICEF, UNESCO, Mercy Corps, keyin albatta o'sha maktabgacha ta'lim vazirligi, oliy ta'lim vazirligi, xalq ta'limi vazirligi va mehnat vazirligidan vakillar, mehnat vazirligidan odamlar bo'ladi. Donorimiz, asosiy donorimiz Amerika elchixonasi bo'ladi. Shuning uchun har bittalaringiz birga bo'lganlaringiz bu komandani borligini, oilamiz qanchalik kuchli ekanligini, keyin yana bitta narsa aytmoqchiman, kerak bo'lsa har birlaringiz huquqlaringizni har bitta yurist sifatida sizlarni himoya qilish kerak bo'lsa, bizlar shunaqa uyushma bizlarki, hozirgi qonunchilik bo'yicha haqqimiz bor. Sizlarni huquqlaringizni himoya qiladigan tashkilot bu, o'qituvchilar tashkiloti. Shuning uchun bemalol savollar bo'lsa, muammolar bo'lsa murojaat qilish mumkin. Rahmat katta hammalaringizga. Ertaga weekend. I wish you happy weekend now and please stay happy, wealthy. And of course, stay with us as continue your CPD. Thank you very much, Obek, again for your great presentation. And thank you, Farhad and Rohatay, for being together. Jamilapa, special thank you to you.
Thank you so much for everyone.
It's my pleasure. See you guys. Bye.
Take care. Bye.
Rahmat.